Hey everybody, it's Kevin. Today is Tuesday, the 23rd of February. We're almost at the end of the month, and I'm happy to be here. I hope you are. Um, just got settled in. Um, what do I want to say about today? Not much is coming through. The weather, thank goodness, has cleared up yesterday morning. And for most of the day, all that rain again and those grey skies. Uh, I was thinking, okay, enough already. I don't know how to find joy and love and light and good things when I'm stuck under this cloud. But still, there you go. We have to understand that gloomy days come, make us to appreciate the gorgeous days, the sunny days, the spring-like days. Um, I completed lesson 6 of the Angel certification course, and it was phenomenal. Um, I wasn't, I think for me now, entering into a course of study, reading a book, the best way I know for me to open and go into something is to release and let go of any preconceived expectation of what the outcome's going to be. Um, that's not to say I don't get excited, but the excitement doesn't come with the former peaks and valleys, actions and reactions and responses that it used to. Um, there was a time, I think, when I got overexcited about something that was coming up, and I'd have this big build up and this big, oh gosh, yes, 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 can't wait, can't wait. Only to either A, it was a surprising difference, or B, the experience or impact wasn't quite as thunderous as the preparation for it. And so there was a disconnect. How can I land that and frame it? A bit like I'm not a big fan of reading books and then seeing a movie. I don't know how it would be if I saw the movie, then decided to read the book. That I think might be different experience. I am a person who learns by watching and listening and seeing, an audio-visual person. I have a challenging time reading instructions and seeing the concept come, or reading about how things come together, especially when it comes to learning something. Something's not missing, something doesn't go through. But if I see it and I watch it, and I think what for me works is the underlying vibrational energy that goes along with what's being created. A case in point, the work that I do, the work that's given me a living for all these years, hair. Um, there are very structured ways of learning a haircut and a shape with weight, graduation, layering, shape and form, which then leads into the more organic style of lifting, chipping, shaping, blending, depending on the type of structure and hair that you're working with. I'm doing this, I'm talking with my hands, I've got someone's hair. So I will oftentimes push and lift and pull and shape and see where that section's going to end up. So in my world, the plan, there's this like out there intention that floats, and then this plan emerges on the in the middle. I think I've learned to appreciate all the various angles of my career, color, cut, all this, and the way um, for me now in my career, it's not just about someone looking great with a great shape, a great haircut, and a great image. It's the feeling they get from it. It's looking at folks who see themselves in a way they haven't seen themselves. That emerging beauty, that sort of level of perfection that's on the inside that's popping out. I like that. Anyway, I digress. So all that to say, I've got some great cards today. I sat and shuffled. I've got in the habit of popping in here earlier than I used to. This lesson 6, I didn't really complete that, did I? It is about the angels, the archangels, the spiritual angels, the angels of the heart. And there are so many. I had no idea. There's a point with which we do several meditations which are glorious. And I thoroughly enjoyed them. I'm grateful to have the time to be able to do it. Well, you meet the 4 major archangels, the spiritual archangels, the archangels of love and transformation. And it's not an accident that several months ago I was meditating and channeling and I got Archangel Orion, or at least that's what I thought he said his name was. And then I couldn't quite decide if it was that or not. So I had a lot of questioning. So no accident, I ended up asking about this course and asking to be able to go on it, to filter all this through and make it make sense, organize it. And in the email I got back was wait till the 3rd seminar and there'll be information about it. So I'm now getting to the point where, what I'm seeking, I'm automatically finding. And I don't know, I'm wondering if you all have that. You put this sort of idea out there, what you're looking for, what you kind of got this idea, you're not really sure, and it sort of does this wonky thing of maybe, and then woof, it lands. Something comes along, gives you the message. That's what that was all about. There was a part with yesterday's lesson. The meditation was to bring in the guardian angel, have the guardian angel come down behind us to feel it, like there they go. So I've talked about my right side and getting the goosebumps and that sort of like little rub on your back. So now if I feel it in the middle of my back in here and down my spine, that's to me the guardian angel showing up. How do you know I'm listening? I'm listening. Explain how you know that that's real. Just trusting the information and knowing that it's there is enough. Also, my experience was, just as I am learning to trust what this information is, or what this feeling is, this guidance is, the guidance that's being presented also has to have that level of trust. So imagine, we talked yesterday about control and releasing control and giving up the idea that we have to do it all right, we've got to do it all ourselves, and if we don't do it, nobody else will. We talked about that. So when you look at the spirit world and you look at source energy and you look at the fact that I personally truly now believe I'm a spiritual a spirit with this lots of talent, having the human experience and trying to fit it all in and get it all done and making it all work. That's the feeling of I've got to do it. That's that connection. When you get that connection, I've got to do this. I've got to get this done. The way that you work as you start to trust what you're getting and the messages that you're getting and what you're seeing and what you're feeling, on the other side, if you can turn it around and reverse it, imagine if you were in the spirit form orchestrating the human being a bit like a puppet. Can you imagine? You know, you're a spirit guide or you're an angel of yourself in a way. I can only imagine. You keep nudging and pushing and giving the messages, stop it. Oh, okay, goodness great. Oh, here you go again. Oh, how many times have I got to tell you? That would be the human experience of trying to tell somebody on the other side of the veil, this is not working. That's my experience of the angel connections or spirit connection. Spirit guides, angels, higher registry, for me, it's in the same realm. There are spiritual beings that have ascended, become spiritual masters, have earned that right to do it. There are spirit guides that are just the same as you and I, with that soulful, lovely advice. For example, I think my grandmother, my dad's mum, on spirit side, has come and decided to be one of them. I feel that connection. There you go. Got that ripple. Got that ripple, and I've got that. Yes, yes, I hear the voice. And I think my friend Billy, who was a hairdresser, who taught me, you know, honor your talent, honor your gifts, honor these physical gifts you've got. Yes, I got another goosebump. So he's a spirit guide. And then, you know, my good friend Denson, who passed, 11 years ago, maybe? He was just very lovely, kind, caring. He's the one that had me believe I wasn't crazy for loving and owning all the dogs and wanting all these dogs. He was a dog person. He's another one. So there are those who've gone into spirit that are happy to hang out in the spirit world and just do their work with us to keep us going, keep us comforted. Now on to the cards, because I think we're running away from each other. Let me wrap up that story about lesson 6. I got to answer a bunch of questions as if I were an angel. One of the ones was, if you were an angel, what would you think your name would be? And the name that came flying out was Ishmael. I'd heard that word before in philosophy and stories, but didn't know who Ishmael was. No idea. What an odd thing to say. No, it's not odd, it's just there. So I looked it up. Ishmael was the son of Abraham and Sarah. Sarah was the maid that Abraham's wife gave to Abraham because she didn't think she could bear children. And Ishmael was the son. Later on, God granted Abraham and his wife another child, Isaac. And Isaac was known to inherit all of Abraham's. He was his sole heir. Sarah and Ishmael were banished to the desert, I guess to live a life of seclusion. I don't know quite what that was about. I'll learn more because it's fascinating. And then I've got to learn the roots of these stories. Why will you tell these stories? Where they come from? Anyway, I digress. So lesson 6 for me was phenomenal. Great, wonderful. I had a great experience. And thank you for letting me share it. All that to say, I pulled my cards this morning. The card I pulled for myself was Sacred Plan. One of the things I love about being in human form, this is the free will and the chance to choose, be, go, do, whatever. The lovely part of that is that the spirit world supports it 100%. Their job is to do that. Their job is not to tell us no. Their job is to support anything and everything we want to do. Even when it feels like the apple cart's tipped over and we've made a big mess, there's a way that you come back to spirit and say, thank you for pulling me back out of that. Or thank you for putting me on my righteous path. Or thank you for showing me the way to go. Because all of us have done it when we've making a tumble and we've not done something that didn't quite go right. Instantly, we're pulled out of it and moved back onto the right path. That's the job of the angels and spirit world, to put us on the right path. the cards I've chosen for all of you was this one. Now, forgiveness and understanding. So my first reaction when I pulled it was, okay, not you again. How many times have we got to learn this forgiveness and understanding? What have you got to say today? Because I'm like, I like something to be different. I don't want to be the same old, same old. I don't know. Anyway, I sat and meditated on it. Oh, excuse me, I needed tea. And what came up was everything we do from here forward relies on us releasing the weight and the burdens of yesterday, of anything that comes up. And I think the challenge for most of us is we're being met by all this adversity, not knowing where to go. And there's a automatic reaction that pops up when you hear something that doesn't line up with what you believe or feel. There's this reaction that doesn't feel right. And the forgiveness and understanding is really being okay with, okay, so that happened and we just move on. For a period, I believe, as we begin to grow in this direction, forgive the past, understand where it came from, look at the intentions and move on with that. There's a period of time where folks want to get stuck in it. They want to get stuck into the disagreement. They want to get stuck into the argument. They want to get stuck into the weight of the trouble. And what I've noticed recently is statements that pop up. I had one yesterday. I was listening to a podcast. The woman giving the podcast talked about the vaccination and how she is, to put it in her words, doesn't want that vibration in her body. And I had an instant reaction to it. Negative reaction. Didn't judge the woman, but it did make me take a step back and say, wow. To forgive my reaction, because I really didn't do anything wrong, I just reacted. I had to look at, what was that reaction about? I don't know this person. I don't know why she doesn't feel like she doesn't want that vibration in her body. And it's okay that she doesn't want that vibration in her body. And then, I asked myself, am I guilty for feeling that I did it or want it or would like to pursue it? And perhaps I shouldn't. So there again, I'm looking at the influence of somebody else putting their opinion on me. So then I went deeper into that and got the fact that, for some reason, then I must have put this person in a category higher than, put them on a pedestal, made them appear to be more important, or appear to be more important than me. Why would I think their opinion mattered? And it was just a conversation. The conversation was really about my understanding the reaction to it. Not what was said or by whom, just the reaction to it. Why did I have this reaction? Many of us don't take the time to sit and look at, there's something there that I have to pay attention to. There's something there that I have got to get to. There's a piece of the puzzle that's missing. That's how you get to forgiveness and understanding. That's how you move into tomorrow free, by releasing the things that cause us to react. Today I'm going to read an article about karma. It actually was printed in 2003. I came across it while I'm going through some decluttering, and I thought that's something I need to read. That's why I've come across it. It's the instant let's see, I put it in a framework. The instant reconciliation of balance. The instant reconciliation of balance. Balance, karma. When we are receiving greatness, receiving lots, receiving blessings, receiving gifts, we should graciously accept. For those who are giving, those who are letting us have it, need the experience of being or feeling that they matter, that you're grateful for the help. Also, if you've been somebody who has given and given and given and given, then the balance, the karmic balance, is that you should sit back and receive. And for me, that's really tough, because I feel like if somebody gives me things unconditionally, all I have to do is say thank you. Instead, I feel like, oh goodness, I don't deserve that. Oh, you've been so kind. Oh, don't worry about it. Oh, yeah, no worries. It's all right. It's all good. Have it. You have it. I never resent giving things to people. I don't resent my generosity. But I feel a little awkward being on the receiving end of people's kindness. Now I'm getting used to it a bit more. Thank goodness I'm not expecting it. I'm just grateful when it arrives. So, forgiveness and understanding really doesn't have to do with somebody doing something wrong or you having to forgive them or forgive yourself. Know that at the minute you realize there's been a misstep, something that went wrong, didn't quite work, you're already forgiven. You don't have to carry it. The burden is carrying it, is taking on that weight, on and on and on and on. And that will lead to a thing called dis-ease, which ends up in your body, as we all know, illness, suffering. Right, I think it's time for the reading and the meditation. I welcome all the comments that you might have underneath that either lands it or doesn't land it, because I learn. I don't tend to take too many things positive. I mean, negatively, or if I'm personally, I meant to say not positive, but personally. We're all learning. All right, the 23rd. Yesterday was about the magic. Today is, there we go. Let power come gently. Let your powers emerge gradually, gently. Go gently on your path and look around. See what you have learned to define as power. See with the eyes of your heart. You used to think you were powerful when you resisted your emotions, when you held back and didn't express yourself. You thought power came from being who you thought you should be instead of who you are. Now you have learned that only when you are who you are, really are, can true power emerge. I've got to say that again. Now you've learned that only when you are who you are, really are, that power can emerge. Authenticity. The power you've discovered in many ways, your power to be decent, loving and kind, your power to heal, to be gentle, to comfort others, your power to see and know the truth, and at times to see more than you can see with your eyes, your power to take your place in the dance of universal love and let the universe dance for you. These powers have been gifts. You've seen them. You understand them. You know they're real. The choice to embrace and use them is yours. Sometimes I think that, well, first of all, we're raised to place our power in other people. That's fine. And they're teaching us something worthwhile. It's necessary. Then when we realize we also have power, oh, then there's that. There's that. Oh, yeah. Um, power doesn't come in brawn, strength, brute force, shoving and pushing. That's what. That's actually the opposite of true power. All right, it's time to meditate. So put your feet flat on the floor. Um, and then connect with your breath. Pull air in. Let it all go. Lift up from the torso. You can put your hands over your head like me. Move your arms out wide. It feels good. It just wakes up your physical body. Moves all the tired, crumpled energy. You can flex out your fingers. Just, it feels good. I like to wriggle my ribs around and just get comfy. Lately, I have been meditating with my palms facing up towards the heart. In receiving, when we're getting things, it's across your heart like this. When you're talking about wrapping the arms of angels or loved ones or just bringing love, you can cross your arms and go inward. Bring your mind, your third eye center, that area right between your eyebrows, to the soles of your feet and acknowledge that they're pressing down. You're rooted. The basial chakra of root, which is below the surface of the earth and tethering you to Mother Earth. Then bring your mind and your attention all the way up through the center of your being, your spine line. Gently, as if you're floating on up through the middle of your body with your consciousness on out to the crown of your head. And think of this as like a satellite signal. You're tuning in with the energy emerging from the top of your head and on out, beyond where your consciousness can fathom. Just connect with a deeper breath, a stronger breath, nothing forced. Just an awareness of your air coming into your body, filling your lungs, your chest, your upper back, and your arteries, organs. Get them some energy in there. We'll begin. Thank you, Archangel Michael, for cutting the ties, the unnecessary ties, and removing the blocks to people, places, situations, stories, and drama that we no longer want or no longer need and no longer serve our purpose. Thank you for cutting those ties and removing those blocks now. We declare that we are safe, we are free, and we remove the burdens of the world off our shoulders. And so it is. And place your hand over your heart. I am the keeper of my mind and my body. Wherever love is, fear is a stranger, and love is here flowing in through me. And so it is. Now picture the light way above you from source energy coming down towards you. Just as you imagine the light and the love from source coming down towards you and encasing you, imagine the flame of the earth, same golden light lifting up from under your feet. Know that you are completely surrounded in loving, bright, white light, golden light, soft light. And see yourself at the center of this personal field bubble. See this golden light extending out about 4 to 6 inches from the edges of your body. Now we enter into the prayer to bring the angels in. Thank you, angels, archangels, and spirit guides from the higher realms, for reminding us that you're here and showing us that you're present. Thank you for revealing what I need to know. I am willing to listen and to receive and to learn and to grow. And so it is. As you sit quietly, let your conscious mind focus on your third eye center, your inner sight. The sense of clairvoyance. Continue letting your physical body settle in. As you sit quietly and breathing, concentrating on what you see and what you hear. If you are at the point of being fully present, quiet and peaceful, you are connected with source energy. You are the source energy that you are feeling. Know that this is your direct connection to your soul's energy. And the ideal place for you to place your desires and requests out into the universe for manifestation, resolution, action. Bring into your mind and your heart something you are currently happy about and grateful for. Lift your vibration higher by engaging a smile on your face. This is the time that you can ask universe questions. And continue breathing and bring your mind to where you are right now in this space. You have the power and the capacity to focus on where you are physically. I invite you to continue breathing softly in this way. When you feel complete, your hands to prayer at the center of your chest. Honor carving out the time to release and let go. Lift your thumb knuckles to third eye center. And together we bow and say namaste. As I'm just in straight meditation, I was given a message to share with you that the human experience is that we want a visual reference point when we're meditating to keep us in the meditation. The human experience's conditioning is imaging. Images show up in our mind the way we are used to them showing up. Someone talks about a yellow car, an image pops up. We're reading a book, a story, images pop up. When we're fully present to what we're doing, engaged in what we're seeing, we see it through images. When you get to the point where the meditation is no images, no sound, no messages, it isn't wrong. It isn't that nothing's happening or that there's no message for you. And I think oftentimes people get a little upset, perhaps bothered by the fact they didn't get a message, they didn't see an image. For the longest time, I knew that there were spirits and angels around, but I couldn't see them. They weren't being revealed to me. The lesson there was they don't have to be. For us to know something, to feel it, precognition, it doesn't have to actually be physically presented to know of its existence and authenticity. And that's where the ego and the human and the spirit all kind of have this little challenge. It is the knowingness, the understanding of it. And so what I want to clarify is you're doing this stuff all the time, you could be somewhere and someone you're close to that you know comes to mind. They come pop in your mind. You could be, I don't know, in the grocery store, the supermarket, with your list of shopping you've got to get, and a relative comes to mind. Oh, that's when you know, I got a feeling about this person, a feeling about that person. Later on, they'll call you or you get news from them. There was your little nugget. They're going to get in touch. You can always stop when you bring them to mind, or push pause on that little nudge, that little message. And then when you get somewhere quiet, the car, home, your driveway, then pull that back up. What do I need to know about this? In meditation, we don't always get those messages flooding in. In fact, my experience has been the more grounded, the more lifted, the more open a person is, the less all these messages come. It's just nice, quiet, peaceful, non-reactive meditation. Hope this has been helpful. Have a great Tuesday. I'm going to drop off my truck. It's going to be fixed because somebody ran into the front of it. I'll get a rental. And I'll thank the angels in advance for giving me a decent rental. Not something that I have a hard time driving. All right. Bye.